see the curvature of the Earth.
Please slow us down. Oh, it's working. Oh. Oh, that was gnarly.
Para a gravidade zero, a cápsula gira bastante, é uma sensação muito intensa, é tudo muito rápido.
Thank you, God. I'm proud of you guys.
Mario, will you please come join me up here on stage?
GLEX Global Exploration.
Congratulations and welcome back to Earth.
Thank you.
We decided, by the way, to take this in a little bit of a Q&A format. But you know, we have in our club, we have explorers who have been everywhere on the planet, and we even have quite a few astronauts in the club. But I'm not sure there's very many people here today that have left the planet. So anyone who has left this planet, please raise your hand. I think that means there's two of us here today. Just
right.
the two of us. And by the way, so it just tells you this is still an incredibly rare and special experience. It's still so low. We know our numbers. You're number 616. I'm number 483, and that's taken 50 years for humanity just to get that number. But you know, so what I'd like to do is I would like you to help take the audience, those of in fact everyone who have not been there, through the total experience. And so what I first want to start with is zero gravity. Before your flight, what preparations did you make, including did you already experience zero gravity flights?
Fortunately, yes. I signed for going to space in 2004 with a different company than I actually went. So I still own a ticket, one of the very first tickets for Virgin Galactic. So fortunately, we did a lot of training, including, probably familiar to you, NASTAR Center in Philadelphia.
So you did the high Gs as well?
We did the high Gs, but they had these tri-dimension capsules, so you actually can do the entire profile of the flight. Not only you do the high Gs, but the capsule turns, so you can simulate on the Gs in different ways. But then I did the Go Zero G flight. That was fantastic, and that was really incredible, and it was very good for the training. So you really felt something like it's being without gravity. That's something that you think swimming is similar to it, but it's nothing to do with swimming. I did, like I mentioned to you yesterday, with the Superman flight, which just push your legs and go from one side to the other of the airplane, but then you have no brakes. So somebody had to grab you. Otherwise, you just kill yourself against the other side of the airplane. So at Zero Z, we had all the training. We went to NASA and we had meetings and training and talks, learn about the experience of some of the astronauts that have been up. Buzz Aldrin was part of our meetings all the time. All this training was with Virgin. So
Yeah.
all this incredible training through the years, I actually was able to use because I got a call from a friend of mine and said, look, there was this NS22 flight from Blue Origin to a total different company, and there's a seat available because it was full, but with a crypto coins problem, the first one, not this one, the guy was a cryptocurrency king and he didn't want to pay for the ticket. So I said, I take it. I said, but we don't have much time to train, but you had more training than most of those people that they were already appointed to that flight. So it was very fast. I bought it in a month and I was announced. And then the training I did was familiarization to that capsule and to the profile of that flight. And because it was a parabolic flight, was very similar. What was not similar and what was a bit of a surprise in terms of the intensity of the experience, it was the return. The return on this type of capsule without wings, it's totally different. So you have a drop-off, a crazy drop-off, where you go over 3,000 kilometers per hour and a free fall, and then you have the first parachutes to stop you a little bit, and these are expendable parachutes. So you go 3,600 kilometers per hour, and all of a sudden you go sucked in, and then slows down a bit, maybe to 2,000 kilometers, and then they cut off those parachutes, and then you free fall again, and then the final parachutes come up, and then that's a big kick up, and you still look out of the window, if you are able to look out of the window, because it's pretty intense, and it feels very hot, and you look out, and it looks like you're going really fast. It looks like you're going to crash, and it's not in the water. In the water, you will have the feeling that it's going to be a soft cushion. This was in the middle of Texas, so you saw the dust, and then we hit the ground around 35 kilometers per hour, because just before you touch the ground, they have these small jets that blast off and cushions a little bit your hitting. But this was the return, the magic moment. It's actually the part, this was a short video, but the part that you are, and you heard, my friend in there that he was screaming with all the adrenaline rushing through his body. It was crazy. This is nothing compared to what he was screaming. He didn't stop screaming. Because the zero G, it's fabulous. We have 4.5 minutes in zero G, and the possibility of looking out the window, these gigantic windows that we have there, and feeling. We did do, the flip-flops as well, but we had time for the flip-flops, time for the pictures. Since I was a kid, I love photography, and the water. I was looking at these pictures in, Bora Bora, Morea, and all those islands. I have incredible pictures and videos in there. I love underwater photography since I was 20 years old, aerial photographer. But being able to take the first picture from a Portuguese in space, I said, I have to do this touch. And I was very lucky when I had this small flag on my pocket and I released it, it started to open. And you see this flag in there. It's not Photoshop. It opened by itself and was just floating. And I was lucky enough to get that angle. And it was all straight by itself. It's not like I put it in there and I was holding it. It was just floating on the zero G and then the gravity. So it's a memorable and unforgettable experience. And I think I'm prepared for the next step that I would like to do one day.
Well, in fact, I want to back up to go forward, which is it obviously still means a lot to you to fly. You have arranged 2 already, taken 1, but you're sort of a captain of travel and hotels as an industry. Why space? So what motivated you what specifically about space was it you're trying to achieve?
Well, I could be saying, since I was born, my dream was going to space. That is not true. My dream was I wanted to go and do a circumnavigation of the globe on a boat. That was my dream. I wanted to do a circumnavigation, start to one point and get to know the world on full circumnavigation. So I did that when I was 20 years old. I joined the company and I went working on cruise ships to be able find a cruise ship that will do a circumnavigation. So I did 3. First one when I was 20. After that, then you start to think, what's next? So I've been diving everywhere around the world since I was 18. I did the last Paris-Dakar. I mean, things that I enjoy and they are challenging, but at the same time they are interesting. So the next one, which I haven't accomplished just yet, I would love, and that's my dream, to do. It's not going to the moon. I thought this is very exciting. I don't know I'll be young enough to be able to take one of these trips when the moon resort is ready, but a circumnavigation or a few days or 1 day or 24 hours around Earth and do a few orbits around one of these new spaceships coming or orbital resort, that's something that I would love to do.
Yeah, that's what,
and
that's what I was
able-
hoping you would say, actually, because
Yes.
I know we've talked about it a year ago.
Yes.
We talked about the
Yes.
fact that since you already do
Yeah.
cruise ships and
Yes.
hotels, that getting a chance to really
Yeah.
welcome people to space beyond yourself.
I think it's very important. The reason that I'm into this, it's of course there is a lot of personal satisfaction in it, but I'm a true believer that we need to bring the private sector and people that can buy tickets, invest, and it's been shown in here since the private sector and the private individuals bet into this business of space traveling, things have been easier for humanity, and that is the good thing for the good of humanity, is that we can cross, the science and technological developments and bring them to the use of the planet.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of examples on that. For example, the latest one this year, we spend on our ships, we have several ships around the world, every day in difficult remote areas. We spend a fortune in telecommunications through the regular satellites and what was available. I'm not advertising this, but the fact that Starlink came, this summer we adjusted our systems to Starlink, and it's like you pay 10% of the price, but you get 50 times more speed, so 50 times better service to our clients. So people want to be online, people want to be connected, and it's important that the private sector, tourism, and science get all combined, and this connection makes it possible.
Let me talk about that for a second too, because I know all of us as explorers, we enjoy going into the places that we get the opportunity to explore. But we started 3 days ago when we started talking about space, noting the fact that we are going to space and moving humanity ultimately into space, really for the betterment of here on Earth, for the people that are here on Earth and Earth itself. I know you also specifically did a lot of that work around your flight, specifically for students in Portugal to bring them along, and there's something called Space Prize Portugal that I know
Yes.
you're involved in. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we, with the help of Manuel, that helped us set that up, and he does a great job with his organization, with you, with expanding, and the Explorers Club. He challenged us to participate in that, and we were able to create a prize, and the winner, this was oriented to young female, and this was oriented for women going and starting to go to space and what they dream about space. And the winner was able to get subsidized or paid by us zero-G flight that she loved, and plus the connections that they get with people connected to space, where of course you've been great help as well, and your team. And we motivate young female Portuguese women to put out ideas and projects related to space. And we wish to continue that and to promote in schools and younger generation of Portuguese that look into this promising sector.
Awesome. Well, I have one last question for you and then a couple of gifts. My last question for you is, do you want to go back?
Like I said just a few minutes ago, I have not fulfilled my dream yet. And my dream would be that I'm able to do an orbital trip and be able to see 16, 17 sunrises and sunsets in 1 day.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool, as you did.
Yeah.
So
but by the way, there is no amount of time that's enough. So you're in trouble because no matter how much you get, you're going to want to have more.
we'll get there.
Well, if you'll stand up with me, I have
Yeah.
I have a couple of gifts here to share with you. First, grab that with you too. First, by the way, Mario has also joined our fellowship. So Mario is now a full member of the Explorers Club. And if I may, I would like to pin your membership
thank you
button
very much.
upon you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
very
Welcome.
much. Thank you.
Also, by the way, something I try, as you know, I tried to get for you here too. Anyone who has left the planet is invited to join something called the Association of Space Explorers. I actually put my pin on here. This is my Association of Space Explorers pin. We tried to get that here so that I could give it to you on the stage. It hasn't arrived here yet, so we'll follow up with that one later. But one more gift actually comes through the club from Jeff Bezos. So this is an Explorers Club flag signed by Jeff Bezos for your personal
Thank you very
collection.
much.
So
Fantastic.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So thank you. Oh, here's a
Thank you very much.
here's a box for
Thank
you.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.